what it is. It's like a topic that can't really be discussed in this brief amount of time.
Oh, I think it can. Is the Earth flat or an oblate spheroid?
Well, it's not a pear shape, I'll tell you that. It's absolutely ridiculous. Every picture of Earth is completely fake. NASA admits it. The only real picture of Earth, the only real picture of Earth is from the fake moon landings.
So the moon landings were fake too. Hey, you know how long it takes to discuss this topic? You're wrong.
Now you can hang up.
Yeah, we had a lunar eclipse not too long ago, and
now I will say that gives me a prime opportunity to rant about one more thing because I hate about bad arguments. The Earth isn't flat. It's an oblate spheroid, and we know, and the moon landings weren't fakes, and we know all that too. And even some people who formerly denied moon landings, like Joe Rogan, have come around. But you can make bad arguments for anything. And I saw a video the other day that showed two pictures of the moon taken from the one from the northern hemisphere and one from the southern hemisphere. And of course, when you're in the northern hemisphere and you take a picture of the moon, then you go down the southern hemisphere and you take a picture of the moon, it looks upside down and you have a slightly different view of the surface because it's, even flat earthers probably think the moon is at least partially round, maybe only round on the side that, you can see. Who knows? I don't know how any of this stuff works.
It does have one face to us all the time.
Here's the problem. If you see this video, and it's a short kind of, take that, flat earthers, it's awful and it's stupid. And it is it's so bad that I'm convinced flat earthers made this video so that they could debunk it. Here's how you can demonstrate what the problem is with this video. If you're sitting in your living room right now and you have like a ceiling fan, or let's imagine that you have a globe dome light in your thing, put an X on it, draw a smiley face on it, whatever you want. You can do it in your head, you don't have to ruin your light fixtures. Go to one end of the living room, look up and take a picture. Go to the other end of your living room, look up and take a picture. What you'll find is that those two pictures, one of them is reversed, and you can see a slightly different portion of this, despite the fact that your living room is flat, unless you have a really weird living room. But you probably have a flat living room. So this particular video does not in any way debunk the flat earth stuff. It is an awful argument where somebody who didn't understand that they have this picture of a curved earth with somebody standing here looking up at the moon and somebody standing here looking up at the moon. If you take that same thing and you make that flat, you end up with pretty much the same pictures anyway, which is why I think this was an argument from flat earthers to debunk. However, I know there are people who just intuitively seem to know that the earth isn't flat, and so anything that seems to reaffirm the idea that the earth isn't flat gets passed around on social media to your self-selected and Facebook-selected list of people who happen to all agree with you. And so it gets passed around more and more, like the 18 shootings claim in 2018.
Echo chamber effect. Right?
Or the lock her up, or make America great again, or any of these other things.
Obama's going to get your guns.
You got to exercise some caution and not just share or agree with something merely because it seems to agree with or validate a position you actually hold or think is true. The passing around of misinformation and bad arguments does no one any good. It doesn't get us any closer to the truth. What it does is it makes it easier to say, you're in this camp and you're in this camp, and roar, let's not worry about what the actual information is. A bad argument is a bad argument, whether it is a bad argument for why we should help each other out and share space, because Jesus wants us to. No, that's a bad reason. It's a crap reason. We should do it because we're sharing space, and we should care about the truth, and we should care about good arguments, because those are the single most effective tools that we have. Because if you present a bad argument, the opposition has no work to do. They get to just debunk this argument without making their case, without meeting their burden of proof. But if you present good arguments and good data, then I'm not going to hang up on you.
You stick it to them, make them work.
See you next time. Thanks everybody for tuning in.